AD, baby. Been hunting this bear all week.
I grunted at him. He come running back in. We just smoked another giant.
Just an absolute giant. Lifetime bull for me.
Team 200 is presented by Moon Guide. Plan your best hunt.
So anybody that's not aware and doesn't see the credits at the end of the show, Dave Voisey from Hidden Thicket is the man behind the computer doing the post-production. And it took some convincing, pulling some teeth, but we got him out of the editing suite, and he is now officially a member of Team 200. Going to be filming for us moving forward. Can't wait to see what Dave gets on the ground this fall.
So for the past 7 seasons, I've been editing and producing Team 200 and have really grown close to a lot of the guys on the team, and it's really made me a better hunter, a better bow hunter. For instance, the Moon Guide. I shot one of my biggest bucks on October 11th in 2013 on a red moon morning. And I wouldn't have been out there if there wasn't a post on Facebook that said, hey, tomorrow morning's a red moon, get into the woods. Pretty much the whole foundation of Team 200 is to go after the most mature animal in your area. And 3 years ago, I found that target buck. I spotted him out in a bean field. The next year, he had a drop tine. He was a really cool buck, and he ran with another buck, a 7-point, really unique, tall, compact, beautiful old buck.
Well, we just saw my target buck. He's in here, he's on his feet. I made a mistake. I don't have my grunt call. He was cruising.
After that encounter with the drop tine, 4 days later, he was shot by a neighbor. So it was a little bit of a bitter moment for me. 3 years of chasing him with sheds and trail cams, pictures, just an amazing animal. What a unique deer, but there was still the 7-point. You know, after that drop tine got shot by the neighbor, gun season happened, and I'm driving down the road, and I look out into the field, and on a fence row is the 7-point bedded. Talking to Adam on the phone, and I look over, and on the side of the road here, about 100 yards on a fence line, is the 7-point, just standing there. So I stopped, I started looking at him, he started flickering his tail. Gun season ended yesterday, so I'm thinking he got shot. So I decided I'm gonna go home, pick up my daughter, and see if she wants to go put a stalk on this big 7-point. He looks wounded. I'm pretty sure we can get in close to him. Maybe he'll stand up and present a shot.
Bat. Bat. Do not shoot. Bat.
I knew it, she was upset, and you know, we thought this deer was shot from gun season. He ran off, and we were thinking maybe he wasn't injured.
That was so hard.
Holding it back?
No, like aiming it while he jumped up and ran.
Yeah.
Within 2 weeks of that encounter, on December 16th, I went in to check a camera, and I found both sides to his sheds. And this is on December 16th. So he was obviously stressing, and you know, from that point I just thought this deer is definitely not gonna make it through winter. The following season, I put my trail camera out, and sure enough, who's the first buck on the camera? The 7-point.
Coming up next.
I can't believe it. We've got a
giant deer on the ground. By far the biggest buck I've ever killed.
And I had a Ozonics pointed. He didn't pick up anything. Gave me a 30-yard shot.
Thank God I have an Ozonics.
Start seeing more deer more often and closer than you ever thought possible with Ozonics. Ozonics is the only product that actively and continually attacks game spooking odor in the downwind airstream during your entire hunt, allowing you to beat an animal's #1 defense, its nose.
My 2019 season started off with the big giant 7-point that I thought died the year before, and I had a crab claw 8-point that was a mature buck. And I also had this 10-point that had a broken antler. It was like a drop-down antler. Really cool buck. I was hoping to connect on one of them. But the 7-point was the buck that I really wanted to shoot.
In the woodlot beside me here, I had what I thought was the 7-point that came in. I was getting ready to shoot him, but he wasn't the 7-point. I think he might be a 9. Took me by surprise. He was walking with a limp. And last year, the 7-point was walking with a limp, so but beautiful morning. Deer are really starting to move. I leave for Kansas on Sunday, so.
Kansas. Man, I've never hunted Kansas before, and over all the years of editing and producing Team 200, the guys always lay down awesome footage. The main goal for me going to Kansas was to get a decoy hunt, and this year I get to hunt the rut and put the decoy to work.
This is Chris Seymour, the man.
Is that running audio?
We are going to hang some lone wolves and get after it today.
It's go time. Let's go.
Let's do it.
So second morning, I got the decoy out there, I got the Ozonics running. I look up, here comes a buck.
That was my first ever encounter with a buck at a decoy. That was so awesome.
And the morning just got better. There was a lot of activity, a lot of small bucks. I had this 6-point come in. He came in posturing to the decoy, put on a show, walked under my tree stand. Just a really cool experience. I'm in Kansas. I know this week is just gonna get better. Seeing that kind of activity, using the decoy, I mean, this was, to me, whitetail hunt at its best. Just like the previous day, here comes the buck parade. Bunch of small bucks come in. You could see the steam coming out of one buck's nose. There was so much activity that morning. Bucks fighting. I had a bobcat that came in. I mean, stuff that you wouldn't normally see. It felt good to call and have bucks come into the decoy, but I haven't seen any shooter bucks yet.
Coming up next.
Raw frozen scents provide 5 unique scent products. Raw Peak Estrus attracts rutting bucks and is guaranteed to contain 30 plus picograms per milliliter of estrogen levels. Raw multi-buck urine combines urine from rutting, dominant, and young bucks to set off a dominance frenzy. Raw Scrape Lure introduces a new buck and a new doe to fire up scrape use. Raw Calming Scent creates calming through the concept of safety in numbers. Raw Body Blast is the first whitetail body scent, the closest thing yet to how a buck recognizes a doe in the wild. Raw Frozen Scents, always fresh, no water or preservatives, and 100% money-back guarantee.
That's pretty awesome. 2 small bucks going at it. I've seen 10 does so far, 2 small bucks. Wait, not a big one.
It's November 15th. It's a red moon day. It got warmer and I started shedding clothes. I planned to sit there all day. And you know, you're in Kansas, the decoy's working. I'm sitting there drinking my coffee and not paying attention. And I look and I see a big bodied buck cruising. I turn the GoPro on and I hit the black rec together. I grunt at him, he stops, he's looking. I snort wheeze and he starts to commit. You know, my thought is, get ready. You know, he's gonna come into the decoy like all the other bucks, but he hangs up right behind this tree where there was brush. I knew immediately I just missed a big buck. I didn't know how big he was, but he was definitely mature, and I knew he had a lot of points on his antlers.
Tell us what happened.
Missed a buck.
Good one?
Oh, he was a good one. Yeah, I don't know what he was, but he was probably the buck in there that probably at the top of the list.
Welcome to Kansas, Voisey. Hey, regroup, get back after it. You ain't the only one.
So Chris doesn't know what buck I'm talking about, and he goes and pulls cards, and 3 days earlier, he has this buck on camera, and let me tell you, this buck has points everywhere. Unicorn buck, I mean, a good solid Kansas dream buck, and I blew my chance.
Thankfully, I didn't hit him, I didn't wound him, and he lives another day, so someone will be a happy hunter when they shoot that buck. Beautiful. Now, if these cows would just stay out of the picture, we'd be okay.
You know, as days went on in Kansas, you know, I started to think, man, am I ever gonna get another opportunity? I'm on day 10, I'm leaving in a couple days, I'm in a new spot in a cedar tree, and I got the decoy out in front of me.
Cool decoy setup. Looking forward to a really good day.
Coming up next. For over 2 decades, the Moon Guide has been the #1 rated tool for serious hunters, telling you when giant whitetails will move and where you need to hunt. Now available as a mobile app, the Moon Guide gives you parcel data, enhanced weather radar, exclusive discounts, tips from the pros, and the deadly red moon data. Are you tired of hunting nocturnal trail camera bucks? Do you ever wonder why some bucks only show up during daylight on certain days each year? The Deer Hunter's Moon Guide is here to help.
My scouting tells me where to hunt. The Moon Guide tells me when.
Our best day hunting ever, 2 unkillable bucks, both taken on the red moon.
For effective preseason scouting, scheduling time off work, planning out-of-state hunts, and increasing your overall hunting success, simply check the Moon Guide's calendar to find the best days, times, and hunting locations to catch a mature deer on his feet during daylight hours.
2 giant bucks last year, both taken on the red moon. Plan your best hunt at moonguide.com.
You know, I started to think, man, am I ever gonna get another opportunity? I'm on day 10, I'm leaving in a couple days, I'm in a new spot in a cedar tree, and I got the decoy out in front of me.
I'm freezing. It's about 2 o'clock. I've been sitting all day here in a new spot. This morning I had a couple small bucks come in and check it out. Tonight, tomorrow, pull out of here Saturday morning, down to the wire.
So I just got done doing my interview and I look over to the right and here's a buck.
Black eagle. Look at that baby, soaked.
The arrow looked good. I called Chris. Our plan was to back out. It looked like a liver hit. So we back out, we give it 9 hours. We go in to go get him. We obviously bumped him. I can't find the deer and we lose blood.
Day 3, got permission on the neighbor's property. We're gonna go in there, take a look, see if we can find him.
I mean, my trip's over. Walked over 20 miles on the Onyx map and just felt horrible. I'm heading home to Ohio with no buck.
I'm heading home. I've been on the road for 12 days. Had an amazing adventure in Kansas. I'm sure we'll eventually find a deadhead, or maybe he'll show up on camera.
Got a nice little buck. So I get home from Kansas, I'm pretty down. I get a call from my buddy Ed Machado. He shot the biggest buck of his life, a quadruple drop tine on a red moon. He says, Dave, come over and take pictures. I can't believe my eyes. You know, I still got a buck tag in Ohio, check cards, and try to go after that 7-point. So the second gun season of Ohio happened, and I found out a neighbor shot the 7-point. So no crab claw 8, and the 10-point is busted up. So I decided to go to a new farm where I had pictures in summer of some 8-points. I wanted to shoot a buck. It's been a while. You know, I was fired up for muzzleloader season. If I see one of these 8-points come out, I'm definitely shooting it.
Honestly, I haven't been out since I got back from Kansas. It's January 4th. It's my brother's birthday. And it's a great day. A lot of football on. I decided to come out here and bring the lawn chair out and hide in these cedars.
Pretty overcast, snowing, spitting rain, and I'm tucked in this cedar, and at last light, here comes one of the 8-points.
That.
My plan worked, tucked away in the cedar here.
And you know, when you're playing the game and going after the most mature deer in your area, you don't always win. And for the last 4 or 5 years, I tried to chase the most mature animal or the most unique buck. It just didn't happen. And you know, going out there and just enjoying a hunt, shooting a buck, this is what it's about.
I haven't shot a buck in 4 years with my muzzleloader, and I'm on a long
dry spell with my bow. 5 years since I've shot a buck with my bow. So to get this one down, man, it feels great. The 7-point, the one that I was after, got shot by a neighbor. So it was the Crab Claw 8, and then this one. Late season in Ohio, muzzleloader. Awesome.